Happy Sunday, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Choppin'It Up. This episode is going to be a little bit different. The purpose of me making this IG page was to do two things. One, show my journey of making the big chop, and two, demystify the art of film and its industry. Now, episodes 1 through 3 thus far have been focusing solely on the making of the big chop, but these next 3 episodes are going to talk about the ins and outs of making any film. I'm going to talk about the various stages of filmmaking. I'm going to talk about what it means to practice a specific film craft, such as screenwriting and editing and sound recording. And I'm also going to share some of my own personal film stories. The good times, the bad times, the psychologically scarring times, whatever I feel like talking about that day. Now let's chop it up. Today's filmmaker quote comes from the late great Djibril Diop Mambéty, who once said, "Cinema is magic in the service of dreams." We all know the phrase movie magic, but it's not just a phrase, it's a fact. Movies are magic. What are some of your favorite movie moments that felt like magic to you while you were watching it? I know for me, it was the scene in Inception where Joseph Gordon-Levitt has that hallway scene fight and like the whole hallway just starts rotating on itself. Like that blew my mind when I saw it in theaters. And I honestly haven't really seen anything like that since. That to me was pure magic. Now, it's story time. Today's story is about the time I had an actor bail on my shoot because he decided he would rather help his friend move into his new apartment.
This is Chopping It Up, story time, take 1, Mark.
Tell me about this actor. Amar was his name?
Yes, He was my friend. I gave him a role in one of my films. And
Go on.
and he bailed on me. I called him the night before the shoot just to check in and make sure everything was okay. And he said he would be there. He said, "I got you, Makeba." He said that to me. But then the next day, he didn't show up for his call time. And so I called him. I called him 4 times before he finally picked up the phone. And when he did, he said,
Yo, I'm sorry, but I can't come in today. Yeah, I'm helping my friend move into his new crib today, so I can't bail on him.
I don't know what happened, man. I lost it. I started screaming at him. I started cursing him out. Everyone on set could hear us. I just couldn't believe he was bailing on me, you know? Like, he knew how important that film was to my career, and he knew how important his scene was to the film. He knew, and he still bailed on me.
And how did the conversation end?
After I finished cursing him out, he said,
You were doing way too much. It's not that deep.
naturally, that just pissed me off even more. So I started cursing him out again. And then he said,
Alright, so what you're not gonna do right now is yell at me. I tried to help, but whatever. Peace.
I see.
and that was it, man. I never heard from him again.
How did that make you feel?
Before I leave you guys today, I just want to take a second to go over what I feel are 2 of my most valuable screenwriting tips. Tip number 1, your final draft is probably not your final draft. There have been maybe 7 final drafts of the Big Chop script, and I'm not gonna hold you, there's probably gonna be another 7 final drafts before we can actually shoot this thing. That's just what it is. There's always room for improvement. Always get a second pair of eyes on your script, always ask for feedback, and always be open to applying those feedbacks. Trust me, you are only gonna thank yourself for it. Tip number 2, when writing the earliest drafts of your script, do not put limitations on your ideas. It will only slow down your writing process. You should write the earliest draft of your script as if you have all of the money and all of the resources in the world to bring it to life. When I wrote the very first draft of The Big Chop, I wrote scenes in there that I knew that I had zero experience directing or producing, but I still put it in there because I wanted to challenge myself, and I wasn't about to limit myself before I could even write the script. Please trust me, take my advice, do not put limitations on yourself. That's it for today's episode, you guys. In case you're still wondering, yes, I'm still working on The Big Chop, and yes, it's still stressing me out, but I'm making hella progress regardless. Stay tuned, y'all. And until next time, peace, love, and curls.